Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we have this title input, the file input, and the description input, the only ones left to do are these drop-down boxes. This one for the category of video you're uploading, and this one saying whether it's going to be a private video or a public video. We're going to start with this one because it's a little bit more simple. With the categories one, we're going to go to the database and retrieve these categories. Okay, so a little bit more to it. So what we're going to do first is just do this private input one, and we'll come back and do this one probably in the next video or something. Okay. So go to your Bootstrap page, this Get Bootstrap Components page, and you want to search for a select box. Select is the drop down box, okay? So just do a quick search for select on this page, and you'll find something like this, okay? So just copy this or type it out, of course. If you don't want to go to the page, just watch what I've copied and type that out. But we're going to create a new function, exactly the same sort of style as we did before. Private function, and this is going to be create privacy input, just like that. Create privacy input, and again it's going to return some HTML, so I'll just put that in there, and we're going to convert these double quotes to single quotes again, like that. And just before we take this and put it inside that double quotes, we're going to take this part again, this form group, paste that in there. And let me just explain what that's actually doing, because I realized I didn't actually say what this form group class is. It's actually the reason we're seeing these on separate lines. Is this form group here. Let me just inspect element real quick, just to show you. This form group, you'll see each one of these is a separate line. Okay, so we're pasting that in there, and now we're going to copy this select HTML and then put that in between there like that. Now I'll highlight that. I'm just going to tab it over, so highlight it all, press tab just to move it over, make it a little bit neater. Actually, one more there. There we go. And we don't need all of these options. We only need two, because we're only going to do private and public. Feel free to add more options if you want though, but for us, we're just going to do private and public. Now, we don't want this select multiple, because this will allow them to select more than one. So get rid of the multiple from there. Okay, so select. Class form control can stay the same. And we need a name, so name equals privacy input, just like that. And we don't actually need this ID. We're not having a label or anything like that. If you did want a label, you would actually make sure to keep this ID attribute, and then you'd have a label attribute like this, just like we did in the file input. And it needs to have a for attribute which matches that ID. Okay, so the IDs of the label need to match like that for, and it has to match the ID. But I'm not going to do a label on this, so I don't need to add this ID part. And the other things left to do are put the values in. So we're going to have private and public. Like I said, feel free to add more values, but we're going to say value equals 0 like this. And then in the option part there, value equals 1. So what have we done? We have a select, which is just a drop down in HTML. We have two options. The text is going to display private or public, and the value is going to be 0 and 1. Okay, so it means if you selected private, it will send the value 0 through. If you select public, the value 1 will be sent through. And that's it. We'd have to go and call this function now. So up here we can just say privacy input like this equals this, just like we did before, and then copy in that and put it in there. And let's just go and refresh the page, and we should see our input. I'm gonna close this developer tools down, and you see it right there. Great. So that's how we do these drop downs, these selects. Okay. Like I said, this one's gonna be a little more not difficult. This is gonna be a little bit more work to do, because we're gonna go to a database and retrieve all the categories. The reason we're going to do that is because if we ever want to add a new category in future, it will automatically be added to all of the drop downs across the whole site. Whereas if we just hard coded all these categories in the page, we'd have to go around everywhere we've used a drop down and add a new category. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go and retrieve these from the database.